Everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's the last day of November today and we've just had those real bad storms. I think we're 98 mile-an-hour winds. Consequently done some damage to fences and things, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. Got some bits in the van all loaded up, so I'll head up there now and have a look, see what we can find. Right, here we are on site and here's the gate here. Oh yeah, not looking too good. Let's hope this rain stays off for a bit. So we've got a post there and one there. So I'm going to get some gear out and start dismantling this, and we'll see if we can get some new posts and get it all fixed up. First thing I'm going to do is take this gate off, because that's obviously creating a lot of weight on the side here. So I'll start with the bottom hinge first. That's pussy. We've got flat blade screws, flat slotted screws at the top, pussies in the bottom. Right, that's the bottom ones out. So now we'll take these top ones out of here. If I can get them out. Easier said than done with these slotted screws. Pussies are far better. In fact, they're not even wanting to come out. I think I'm going to have to just back them off and then lever them out with a claw hammer. They're just spinning. They're certainly not gripping into much. Fuck this one out a little bit. Tight hold of the gate now. So cuts that off. There we go. So now the gate's removed, I'm going to try and take this section of fence away from these posts. So I'll have to remove a board and a board here, and hopefully we can lever the rails away from the post and lift that section of fence out. Okay, I've put this in as a temporary prop just to take the weight of this, just so it doesn't fall over when I start taking things to bits. So we'll see how it goes. Now these two boards are off. Now hopefully get down there and leave the post away from the rail. There we go. That one out. What we might be able to do is leave it attached there, just take that one out and then just ease the fence over and support it up rather than taking all this down. We'll see what it's like when we get this one out here. When we take this one out, we'll see what it's like. One's got a nail in. There we go. Post removed. So hopefully now lift this section in. Probably in and support it with some posting, get these old posts dug out. I've dug the soil around it now. We've just got the concrete and use a trusty old Titan breaker and try and break the concrete out. Nice and soft, this concrete. It's breaking up pretty much now with the spit. I was wondering whether I could use me fence post removal tool around here, but I think I'll struggle to get in around this slab, but it's starting to loosen up a little bit anyway. Whew, warming up now. Well, it turns out I've just managed to get that chain around this post, managed to ease it over a little bit. So I've got this device on, I want to see if it'll pull it out. There she is, out. Awesome bit of kit. Now I've got this post end out of there, I'm going to open that hole out because this was just a 4x3 post, but as it's a gate post I'm going to put a 4x4 in. So I'm going to get in with the breaker and break all that concrete out, make it a bit bigger so I can drop a 4x4 in. Now this is the second post. I've only spent literally about 2 minutes breaking around here, and that post seems to jiggle a little bit with the drain spade, so I'm pretty confident as long as I can get a grip on that with that chain, this might pull this one out dead easy. Let's give it a go. I haven't even got any chocks under here or anything to spread the load, so it shows how easy this one's coming out. Normally that would pull straight into the grass, into the soil. There she goes. Start pulling the soil a little bit there, but it's almost out there. There we go. Oh. There we go. And there's that one out. I'm going to use a 4x3 in here, but I'll open that hole out again just to get it nice, so we can get some postcrete around it well, get it nice and solid. Right, so there we are. Second hole dug. I'm just going to measure the depth. What that? 60 centimetres, 2 foot thereabouts. So as a rule of thumb, this is a 6 foot fence, 8 foot posts. You basically divide, so it's 6 foot fence. So a third of that's 2 foot. So that's about what you want underground. So that's exactly right, 60 centimetres. Don't get us wrong, if it was only 58, 55 centimetres I wouldn't lose any sleep over it, but that's a rule of thumb. This other one, let's have a look at this one, what this one is. And that's about 56 centimetres up to the slab. Again, that'll be perfectly fine. So I'm just going to have a little bit tidy up. I think I'll grab some dinner and then start putting this fence back together, get the posts in and get it all set in. There comes the rain, so now it's a mad panic just to fling everything in. So I don't get all my gear soaked. About it, just the extension lead. I think I'll have me dinner, have 5 minutes, let this rain blow over. Yeah, so I was just thinking there, when we're talking about the depth of the holes for the posts, it reminded me of many years ago when I used to do domestic work. I used to work for old grannies and all various people like that. There was an old dear, she rang us and asked us to go on price for putting a fence right. She just had this new fence put up. You went and had a look at it. From a distance it looked alright, but she said, oh, it wobbles and things in the wind, it just doesn't seem right. Anyhow, gave her a price. I can't remember what it was, but I think my price to put it right was more than what she'd paid this lad to build the whole fence from scratch. And she had sort of a concrete yard in the back and some of the posts were set into that. And obviously struggled to dig down any depth. and I think probably there might have been four or five posts along this stretch, and I would think the deepest one was probably a foot deep, 30 centimetres. There was 2 or 3 of them. It must have only been, if I said 10 centimetres deep, that's all there were. God knows how it stood up, and God knows how that lad did that and took that money off that woman. You know, what a terrible job. I mean, she wasn't pleased, to be honest, that she was having to pay again, but that's a problem, isn't it? You pay peanuts, get monkeys, so you may as well pay the right amount and get it done properly. But I got it all back together. I think we managed to salvage most of the fence, obviously not the posts because they were cut about 2 foot too short, but yeah, just makes you think, doesn't it? Some of these things that people do. So anyway, I'm happy that one's deep enough, so I'm not going to be getting called back to that. So anyway, I'm going to grab some dinner now and then get cracked on. So what I've done now is I've just lifted the fence roughly back into place. I've put a little line here on the slab so I know where the post ended up, so I know I've got this roughly in the right place. I've put this piece of timber under there, under that board, just to raise it all off the ground so it's not sat down there. It obviously wasn't level, because if I put me spirit level on the rail across there, or even on the top one, even with this board sat right on the ground, it's still coming uphill slightly. So that's the way to do it, just raise it up like that so it's a little bit off the ground. It's about even along the majority of it there, then the ground drops off. So we're going to use this is going to be the finished height. So I'm going to drop my post in now, mark off where it comes through here, and then cut it to length. So what I've done now is I've put the new post in and I've levelled it up that way and that way. I know it's positioned correctly at the bottom, so I'll put that little line on there. Also, I offered the gate up into position, and from that I thought that we needed to raise this up a little bit more, so I've put another piece of timber in there just to bring it up, so everything looked okay. Now we've just got to work out this angle here. So if we look, this is the old gate post. If we look, we can see that's where the top of the rail was there. So we want to be 13.5 centimetres from the top of the rail. So I'm going to do this one-handed. I'm not going to be able to, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a pencil line on there, 13.5 centimetres, and that's going to be the top, this line here. Slight change of plan. That there would have been the 13.5 mark, which would have been the same as this, but as you can see, that post sitting higher than the top of the fence now. I think that looks rubbish. I always like my post to be in line with the top board, so I've just measured from there to there, marked that across there, so that there is going to be the top line, and then we'll then mark the angle on here. There's our line that's at the top of the fence, so I'm going to plonk that on the side. Level that up. There we go, that's the angle. Right, so I've got both posts in now, done that one the same, cut the chamfer on the top. I've just got everything in, all clamped in position, propped up. Now I'm ready to put the screws in, the rails height. You just clamp everything up first, like that, and I can just check everything, look down and check everything lines up. And once I'm happy with that, I'll put the screws in. We'll leave it propped up, but I'll then take the clamps off, I can get the boards and everything on, then finally get the post crate in, get these set in place. some reason I appear to lost sound on some of these other clips that I've just done, so I'll run you back through it. I might have to just do a little bit of subtitles on those ones. So we've got those posts created in, that post and that post. It's all still propped up on these because this post crate will take about 10-15 minutes to set, and it's getting quite windy. I don't want it to blow down before it's even repaired, so I'm just going to have a bit tidy up around here, rake some of that soil back in, and then we'll get the gate put back on. Just testing to see if this sounds on. There we are, we've got something sneaking around. Where? There's that cat gone under there. Now the next thing is to try and get the gate back on. What I'm going to do, I'll use these wedges here underneath the gate to lift it to the correct height, and I should be able to get the screw straight in to this post. So what I've done now, I've got them wedge, well that one's not doing much, but that wedge under there, you see, is holding the gate up to about the correct height. Looks somewhere near in line with that keep for the bolt. It might need adjusting. Left a little bit of a gap between where the hinge side is for expansion, so I'll get that top screw in, and then we'll line the bottom one up, get that hinge adjusted, and get that screwed into place as well. So the top hinge has got one screw in. What I'm going to do now is use this wedge and just put in there and bring that to the correct position. I'm just going to check at the top on the bolt. Yep, that seems about right. So now I'll pop a couple of these screws in. Now, as you can see, we've got one screw in the top, one in the bottom, and that latches in the right place. So we just need to get the last three screws in there, and that's that bit done. Okay, that's just about done now. Gate on, we've tidied up along there, put the soil back around the post. Just one last thing, this is a cut end preserver, so any treated timber, basically brush a little bit of this on, brush it on, add a stick. I'm just going to brush some of that just on the tops of the posts, a little bit on that brush there, you have to see, just where I could, the posts, I'll put it on there. I'll have to put the camera down, I'll do that now because I struggle to do it holding the camera. That's the last thing, just treat those tops so they don't rot, and that's it, job done. Till the next windy time.